So apparently my mom thinks her hair appointment is more important than my child breathing. Cute, right? I, 31F, single mom, have a 7-year-old son, Gregory, whose lungs apparently signed a lifetime contract with Satan because asthma owns us. His dad moved across the country, sends $20 twice a year like he's Santa on probation, and calls it parenting. Anyway, I've been busting my butt at the same admin job for 4 years, juggling rent, daycare, meds, and whatever the latest surprise expense is. For months, I've been grinding overtime and brown-nosing my boss for a promotion that would have finally meant I could buy groceries without having to do mental calculus in the produce aisle. Friday at 2 p.m. was supposed to be my golden moment. Except Gregory's lungs staged a coup on Thursday night. Fever, coughing, the whole death rattle performance. Doctor says steroids and rest, aka, there goes daycare. So I did the reasonable thing, called my mom. She's 25 minutes away, unemployed, semi-retired dad at home, living their best lake house and wine club life. Surely they could watch their sick grandson for 2 freaking hours so I could secure our future. Mom's response: "Oh honey, this weekend isn't good for us. I have to get my hair done Friday, and then there's the Williams anniversary party Saturday. You know how these things are." Yes, mother, I do know how these things are. They are called priorities, and you have the maternal instincts of a soggy paper bag. I begged, explained, rationalized. It was 2 hours, not 2 weeks. She sighed like I'd asked her to donate a kidney and told me maybe I should reevaluate my priorities as a mother. So yeah. I missed the interview. Lost the promotion. Cried into my son's mac and cheese while HR sent me the rejection email. My mom, in peak gaslighting mode, texted me afterward like, "How'd the interview go? Hope you made it work." As if she hadn't just torched my career path in the name of moose and highlights. When I finally told her how hurt I was, she doubled down with, "You can't expect me to drop everything every time you have a crisis. I raised you. Gregory is your responsibility now." Cool. Noted. Except when her TV needs resetting or dad needs chauffeuring to physical therapy, then I'm suddenly their personal 24/7 Uber. And then, this is the part that made me laugh so hard I considered starting therapy again, she asked me for money. Yes. In the exact same conversation where she told me I was on my own, she hit me with, "We were hoping you could help with some expenses this month. Your father's medication costs went up and property taxes are due. Lady. I just lost a promotion because of you. You want my rent money too? Should I sell Gregory's nebulizer on eBay for you?" I told her no. She pouted about how families should support each other. Yeah, apparently that only applies when I'm the one doing the supporting. Fast forward, I'm back at work, watching the person who actually got the promotion learn the ropes while I cry in my car during lunch breaks. Meanwhile, my parents are still calling and texting, now more aggressively, demanding to know when I'm sending them money. So I finally grew a spine and told them I wouldn't be helping financially or otherwise anymore. They responded with, "We're family. We're supposed to help each other. Right. Except when it's my sick kid and a life-changing opportunity." Then suddenly, family means, good luck, don't forget to Venmo me later. And just when I thought they'd finally leave me alone, they escalated. The morning after the credit card screenshot apocalypse, I wake up to a novel-length text from my mom. Apparently, that $4,378 debt is mostly from helping me and Gregory. I scroll through my bank statements. Newsflash, Mom, $30 Target gift card for Gregory's birthday, a pile of hand-me-down clothes that don't fit, and one dinner at Applebee's. Me. $800 for a broken water heater, $200 plus on my dad's birthday, and countless hours schlepping them around, fixing tech, driving to appointments. I sip my coffee and feel my blood pressure spike. By lunch, I'm training Ronnie, the unlucky soul who got the promotion I missed. He's nice, genuinely uncomfortable about how the company dropped the ball, keeps saying, "You really had this down pat. They should have waited." I want to hug him and then scream at the universe in equal measure. Then my phone buzzes. Unknown number. Could it be a recruiter? A job offer? Nope. Aunt Isla, my mother's sister, calling for the first time since Christmas. She launches into a full lecture about sticking together as family. I try to explain the situation with the interview, the years of one-sided support, the pattern. She interrupts. Well, that's your perspective. Your mother has always been there for you. Oh, really? Because last week she forgot Gregory's asthma existed while I tried not to cry over my missed promotion. That night, Gregory and I are at the playground when my dad pulls up. My stomach drops. Gregory runs over excitedly, and I try to brace myself. Dad hugs Gregory, then says, "Can we talk?" I send Gregory back to the swings, glaring at him from a distance. Dad goes full guilt trip mode, tearfully explaining how Mom has been crying herself to sleep because I shut them out, and casually tacks on that their homeowner's insurance is due next week. I stop him mid-sentence. You drove 25 minutes here to guilt trip me, but couldn't help when Gregory was sick. He blinks, like this connection is literally new to him. 10 minutes of alternating guilt tactics and direct requests for money later, I pull the classic move, I need to get Gregory home for dinner. Immediate relief washes over him. In his mind, I'll think about it, still equals yes. Then comes Damien, my brother. He actually sees through it, bless him. We compare notes on our parents' financial manipulation, the classic fake emergencies that somehow always end with them on weekend trips or new patio furniture. Finally, some solidarity. Monday, a job interview email lands. A similar position, better pay, better benefits. I schedule it, this time with real childcare lined up thanks to Juliet. Finally, a tangible chance at moving forward without being drained by people incapable of supporting me when I need it most. Of course, my parents do not quit. My mom texts, "We're very disappointed in your attitude. Your father and I have always supported you, and this is how you repay us. We need to talk about this credit card bill." I check their Facebook. Weekend at a nice restaurant. Mom's caption, "Feeling fabulous in my birthday splurge." Yeah. Fabulous indeed. Tuesday night, Gregory is asleep, and I'm folding laundry. Knock knock. Peephole, Mom. Angry, victimized, glamorous as ever. She immediately launches into the speech about family obligations, unexpected expenses, financial hardship. I ask for specifics. Vague medical bills, house repairs, theirs is newer than mine, cost of living increases. I repeat, I can't help financially right now. She switches tactics. Could you at least help us organize our finances? Translation, look at our money, feel guilty, hand over yours. I calmly suggest they talk to a financial advisor or look into credit counseling. Her face hardens. Then the line that's been replaying in my head non-stop, "We took care of you for 18 years. Now it's your turn to take care of us." I glance through the window. She stands there, fuming and righteous, while Dad waits in the car. I watch her for a full minute before she walks back to her vehicle. Yesterday. Group text from Mom, me, Damien, and a few extended relatives, GoFundMe. $155,000 goal. Vague medical issues, unexpected expenses. No donations yet. House fully paid off. Retirement income. They're not even remotely in danger. Pure, unadulterated manipulation. Damien and I have ghosted it. Aunt messages me privately, "Why won't you step up for your parents?" Step up. As in financially, emotionally, spiritually. I don't even know where to start. Meanwhile, job interview next week looms like a lighthouse in a storm of parental nonsense. Gregory keeps asking when we're visiting Grandma and Grandpa. I lie, gently. I hate lying, but I refuse to make him collateral damage in their constant, exhausting manipulation. Every call, every text, every fake crisis, they've escalated in the 3 weeks since I started saying no. And for the first time in my life, I'm finally seeing it clearly: boundaries aren't cruel. They're survival. I woke up Monday feeling like I'd aged a decade. The previous night's knockfest from my parents had left me jittery, borderline shaking, and honestly terrified of opening the door for anyone. Gregory, blissfully unaware, bounced into the kitchen humming about planets and papier-mâché. I tried to match his energy, but every creak in the apartment made me flinch. The GoFundMe was still active, $175 donated from 3 people, and Mom was casually waving it off as a precaution. I reminded them for the umpteenth time, I couldn't help financially. I suggested a financial advisor, maybe refinancing, or even a payment plan. My dad started to argue, but I held firm. Mom snuffled into a napkin, Dad stared into his coffee like the world had ended. I left the cafe of confrontation feeling exhausted but lighter. Gregory and I spent the rest of the weekend doing homework, watching movies, and trying not to think about the storm of parental nonsense. My mind focused on the upcoming job interview, the one real chance for a fresh start. The interview went shockingly well. Small company, better pay, flexible schedule. Douglas, the manager, actually listened when I mentioned childcare, without me spilling a single ounce of parental drama. Work from home options for sick kids. Yes, please. Relief washed over me in a way I hadn't felt in years. We picked up ice cream afterward, just the 2 of us, celebrating a small victory. Then came the call. Unknown number. Apartment manager. My parents had tried to show up claiming they needed to drop off something for Gregory. Surprise, I'd never given them a key. I told the manager absolutely not, thanked her for double-checking, and called my parents. No answer. My stomach sank. I rushed Gregory home, told him to stay in the car with doors locked, a first, and sprinted to the lobby. There they were, Mom with her oversized purse, Dad with his helpful smile, small suitcase in tow. Mom immediately bursts into tears, Dad spins a tale of mortgage errors and utilities shut off. I stared, disbelief turning to frustration. I asked why they hadn't called. Dad, phones were about to be shut off. Right. They managed a 25-minute drive and waited 2 hours instead of just calling. I told them my apartment wasn't an option, 1 bedroom, shared with Gregory, pull-out couch barely usable, and suggested hotels or anti-SA. Mom's tears morphed into anger. You're abandoning us. Dad jumped into the classic parenting flex, we did so much for you. Paying for lunches, clothes, appointments, basic responsibilities framed as extraordinary generosity. I ended the conversation, returned to Gregory, and spent an hour coordinating with Aunt Isa and Damien to make sure my parents actually had somewhere to go. Next morning, Dad texts, we're at Aunt Isa's. We'll figure things out. I go to work, give notice at my current job, try to focus on the positive. Gregory asks if Grandma and Grandpa are okay, I tell him they're staying with Aunt Isa for a bit. He's satisfied. Friday, I'm at my desk when the building portal buzzes, my parents requested visitor access. Immediate decline. Call manager Ariana. Mom had shown up again, claiming she needed to drop off Gregory's medication. She insisted she had rights as a grandmother. Ariana held firm. Mom mutters something about returning on Saturday, today. I spend the workday running scenarios in my head, terrified for Gregory's safety and my own sanity. We get home. I double-check locks, close blinds, order pizza, suggest a blanket fort for morale. Around 8 p.m., halfway through How to Train Your Dragon, knock knock knock. I know instantly who it is. Gregory stays put, watching the movie, as I wedge myself in the doorway. They're back. Mom with her purse, Dad with that innocent button-titled smile, 2 more bags added to the mix. Dad announces, casually, that my apartment makes more sense than anti-essays. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Mom peeks past me calling Gregory by name. My blood boils. I step into the hallway, partially closing the door behind me. Firm, calm, you cannot stay here. Not now, not this weekend, not until things get sorted out. Mom's face hardens. Then the threat, we'll see what the police have to say about a daughter turning away her elderly parents with nowhere to go. I almost laughed. I calmly explained that they are adults, with a credit card, a car, and relatives willing to house them. Police would just redirect them. Dad switches tactics, suddenly concerned about Gregory's birthday and presents. Manipulation 101. I reiterate, anti-ISA or a hotel, or nothing. Return to our blanket fort, hands shaking, heart racing. Gregory asks if Grandma and Grandpa are coming in. I lie gently, they stopped by to say hello, now they're at anti-ISA's. He nods and resumes the movie, popcorn flying everywhere. The night continues with flurry after flurry of texts, guilt trips, 30 years of parenting counts for nothing, threats, you'll regret this, and bizarre claims. My parents are masters at turning ordinary situations into emotional landmines, but for the first time, I am unmoved. I am standing firm. For me. For Gregory. I woke up that Saturday morning, pancakes sizzling, Gregory laughing about some space-themed joke he'd made. Our little tradition. Then my phone rang, Dad's number. My instinct, ignore. But something made me answer. His voice was different. Quieter, calmer, less entitled. He actually waited for me to answer before launching into his own issues. I gave vague, polite responses, keeping the walls up, as always. Then he said something I wasn't expecting, Mom had started therapy. Apparently, after months of failing to manipulate me and my wallet, a health scare, high blood pressure, pushed her doctor to recommend stress management sessions. She'd been going for 6 weeks. According to Dad, her therapist was helping her recognize patterns in her behavior. She was beginning to see how her actions had pushed me away. No grand apology. No promises of dramatic change. Just a quiet acknowledgement that she was working on herself and seeing things differently. Dad said they wanted to gradually rebuild some kind of relationship, but only on my terms. I told him I needed time. He accepted it without argument. Then he added that they'd set up automatic mortgage payments and were working with a financial advisor. Small, practical steps. Actions that, for once, actually matched the words. I don't know if this is genuine change or just a new, sophisticated manipulation. 6 months of therapy have taught me to proceed cautiously, to protect Gregory, and to hold firm boundaries. For now, I've suggested occasional email updates, photos, school achievements. No in-person visits. No financial discussions. Absolutely no unsupervised contact with Gregory. Dad seemed surprisingly okay with that. My therapist reminded me, real change isn't a speech. It's consistent action over months or years. Words are easy. Actions are proof. So I'm moving forward cautiously optimistic, but my boundaries are unshakable. Life isn't perfect. Our new apartment has a dripping sound in the bathroom no one can fix. My car made a worrying noise last week. Gregory sometimes has nightmares and crawls into my bed at 2 a.m. My job has stress and politics. But underneath all that ordinary chaos is this new, almost alien feeling: I'm steering my own life now. Not reacting to everyone else's emergencies. Not sacrificing my future for someone else's drama. It's empowering. Terrifying. And yes, messy. I don't know what the future holds with my parents. Maybe they're changing. Maybe they're just plotting the next manipulation. Either way, I'm no longer the person who sacrifices her life, or her child's well-being, to meet their demands. Gregory is happy. We're safe. I'm finally free to build a life that doesn't revolve around other people's crises. And that feels like victory.